So, if you're not enjoying the job you're doing, right, you're not going to want to do it. So if you surround yourself with people that have the skill set and that are good character people, it makes your job easier.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to make your first millions? And today we have Jared joining from United States. And after 15 years working in the family business in the tire shop, he decided that it was a good idea to start his own business. And today he has sold millions, over 2 million online with the business. So, Jared, tell us, what are the 2 million tries? So, what are the 5 steps to make the first million?
Well, I don't know if it was a good idea, but it worked out. So I would say first, go into an industry or a business that you're a domain expert, something you've spent time in that you really fully understand all the aspects of. The second one I would say,
You knew because it was part of the family business.
yeah,
So you knew about that type of product, right?
exactly. So I spent 13, 15 years in my dad's business. He also spent obviously multiple decades in it. I got to really understand it fully. I worked in all aspects from the warehouse to doing warranties to B2B sales to business development. Like I understood everything. I did logistics. So it was a very easy transition for me to kind of get into the next phase of my career, which was running Tire Agent. Yeah, and it was a very smooth transition because I knew everything in terms of the industry. So once you do that, I would say the next step for sure is you got to be not in love with your business, but be in love with the industry. So fail fast. So if something's not working, don't be afraid to say, hey, it's not working. Let me shut it down and restart a different idea in the same space. We pivoted 4 times.
Wow.
So we were a mobile tire shop for a little bit. We were a B2B2C software company for tire shops. That didn't work. We were a regular e-commerce company. That didn't work. And then we kind of evolved into what we are today. So do not be afraid to fail because you learn from failure and then you can grow from it. Then after that, I would say be obsessed with customer service. That's me. I read almost every review that comes in. And I'm not scared to make changes. If enough people say something is wrong, there's something wrong. And if enough people say there's something great, then I want to make it greater. So if you look at our reputation online, over 20,000 reviews online, stellar reviews. People love us. We have a very high repeat purchase rate, which means we're doing something right, especially considering it's not a product that you need to use every month, right? But we still have a lot of people coming back. We get a lot of relatives of people, a lot of neighbors, friends, word of mouth. You got to be obsessed with customer service because if it's easy to make the sale, it's not easy to keep them coming back. And if you only care about just making the one-off sale, then your customer acquisition cost is going to go up. The repeat purchase rate is what brings it down. That's like is SEO, right? That's what you want. So I read every review. We constantly making changes and we have a heart. When a customer says is going through a hard time, we hear all sorts of stories being a national company. When I hear someone's going through a hard time, I sometimes, depending on the story and depending on the case, I'll help. We had a customer that was going through a really tough time with their job and they needed just a break. And I tell our customer service agents, got to have a heart. You got to be there for people that really need it. So that's what I mean by being customer obsessed. Yeah. And what we teach our agents, I don't care whether it takes 5 minutes or whether it takes 2 hours. You take your time, you walk them through whatever they need, and then you end the call when it's appropriate. But you never rush a customer off the phone because you want them to feel good about the purchase. You want them to feel excited about what they did, even if it's tires, right? It doesn't have to be, a TV or a computer. Like you want them to feel excited over the purchase.
Absolutely.
I always say, surround yourself with not only good people, but people that want to do the jobs that you don't want to do. So, if you're not enjoying the job you're doing, right? You're not going to want to do it. So if you surround yourself with people that have the skill set and that are good character people, it makes your job easier. And then the last thing is have fun. I mean, you're on the best journey of your life. It's the hardest journey, but it's also the best journey. And I once heard something that says, you don't know happiness unless you know sorrow. That was a saying that someone once told me. And it's true. I mean, look, I was almost homeless. I, at one point, had a time in my life where I lived off of crackers and jelly, and I couldn't even afford a sandwich.
Wow.
And now, if you look at where we are today, we're one of the fastest growing online retailers in the country. And I'm able to appreciate it. And I wake up feeling blessed and happy every day. But part of it's because I know what it's like and where I came from. And if you know where you come from and then where you're going, it makes the journey a lot easier.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.